This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good night, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 29, 2023. And in the news tonight, Jamaican farm worker dies suddenly in Canada. A Jamaican seasonal farm worker died last Thursday after collapsing at a farm in Canada. Roy Walker, 68, departed Jamaica on March 17 for his annual journey to Canada, where he worked at the Sheridan Farms. Less than a week later, he was dead. According to Walker's niece, Elisa Williams, Walker's sudden death has plunged his community of shooters in Kelly's Claremont into sadness. It has also left his family very puzzled and confused, as according to Williams, her uncle appeared to be in good health prior to leaving Jamaica less than a week earlier. It is really a shock to the entire community because he had just left Jamaica and he seemed to be in good health, although he has a little diabetes. He's been diabetic for almost 10 years, Williams told the news. He was a very jovial man who loved to sit and socialize when he was not planting his ground. He went to Canada for almost every year for the last 20 years for about 8 to 9 months at a time, she added. Williams further shared that the Ministry of Labor was in touch with the family, who are awaiting the result of an autopsy on Walker's body. In the meantime, Williams says that the family continues to mourn, noting that the ordeal has been made more difficult by the lack of information so far around his sudden passing. The Jamaica Liaison Service head office in Toronto declined to comment on the matter, citing that it could not disclose private information when contacted by the news. Efforts to get a comment from the Ministry of Labor also proved futile up to publication time. Court orders reassignment of Dean Roy Bernard to permanent secretary position. A Supreme Court full panel has ruled that Dean Roy Bernard, the former Education Ministry permanent secretary, who was unceremoniously pulled from the post and reassigned to the Ministry of Finance as a Director General, be reassigned to a permanent secretary position within 3 months. The court, in its judgment handed down on Wednesday morning, said the 2019 reassignment of Bernard was unconstitutional. It said it found that Bernard could be reassigned based on Section 126 of the Constitution. However, it said the section must be read in conjunction with the interpretation section of the Constitution. As such, it said it found that the newly created position of Director General has no job description and is not commensurate with the position of Permanent Secretary. The court said as such it found that the claimant, having been reassigned from the position of Permanent Secretary to the position of Director General, was unconstitutional. It, however, made no orders regarding several other declarations that Bernard had sought. St. Thomas men charged for possession of gun and ammo. 2 men were arrested and charged after they were found to be in possession of a Beretta 9mm pistol along with 14 9mm rounds of ammunition in White Horses, St. Thomas on Friday, March 17. Charged with unauthorized possession of ammunition and the possession of a prohibited weapon are 28-year-old Richard Watson, landscaper of Shady Spring, White Horses, and the 28-year-old Tevin Wright, farmer of Castle Hill, White Horses in the parish. Reports are that about 6 a.m., an intelligence operation led lawmen to the home of Watson. The house was searched, which yielded the weapon, along with the ammunition being found in a knapsack bag in a bedroom occupied by him. Both men were charged on Tuesday, March 28, following a question and answer session. Man charged with attempted murder in Kingston. A 29-year-old Kingston man has been charged with attempted murder in connection with an incident that took place at Oxford Market in the parish on Tuesday, August 16, 2022. Charged is Ricardo Rodney, otherwise called the Kemar of Regent Street, Kingston 14. Reports are that about 11:30 p.m., the victim was in his shop when Rodney locked him inside. He later reportedly poured a corrosive substance on the building and set it ablaze. The victim escaped with the assistance of another man who opened the door. The police were summoned and the victim was taken to the hospital, where he was admitted in critical condition with several burns to his face and body. On Thursday, March 16, 2022, Rodney was arrested, and on Wednesday, March 22, he was charged after a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. His court date is not yet finalized. St. Ann man stabbed to death, teen in custody. A St. Ann teen has been taken into custody following a fatal stabbing incident in Claremont on Tuesday night. The dead man has been identified as a 58-year-old Desmond Smith, otherwise called a Bandic, of Coltart Grove District in Claremont. The police report that about 10:30 p.m., Smith got into an altercation with the teen. During the altercation, Smith was stabbed allegedly by the teen. Smith was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. The teen was subsequently arrested by the police. Hagler charged after robbing $2,000 from 3 people. A 48-year-old man has been charged with robbery with aggravation following an incident along Harbor Street in the parish on Tuesday, March 28. Charged is Neville Ferron, Hagler of Regent Street, Kingston 14. Reports from the Central Police are that about 1:27 a.m., 3 people were traveling along Harbor Street when their vehicle ran out of petrol. They were approached by Ferron, who offered his assistance, but they refused. After their refusal, Ferron brandished a knife and robbed them of $2,000 and a pair of earrings, then escaped on foot in the area. The police were summoned, and upon their arrival, Ferron was pointed out by the complainant. He was taken into custody and subsequently charged. His court date is being finalized. U.S. increases visa processing fees for Caribbean visitors. The United States Department of State on Tuesday published a final rule regarding increases to certain non-immigrant visa application processing fees for Caribbean and other visitors. The increases published Tuesday in the U.S. Federal Register will become effective on May 30, 2023. The State Department said the fee for visitor visas for business or tourism B1, B2s, and BCCs and other non-petition-based NIVs, such as student and exchange visitor visas, will increase from US $160 to US $185. The fee for certain petition-based non-immigrant visas for temporary workers, H, L, O, PQ, and R categories will increase from US $190 to US $205, the State Department said, adding that the fee for a treaty trader, treaty investor, and a treaty applicant in a specialty occupation E category will increase from US $205 to US $315. NIV fees are set based on the actual cost of providing NIV services and are determined after conducting a study of the cost of these services, said the State Department, noting that it uses an activity-based costing methodology to calculate annually the cost of providing consular services, including visa services. The fees for most non-petition-based NIVs were last updated in 2012, and certain other NIV fees were last updated in 2014. The State Department said other consular fees are not affected by this rule, including the waiver of the 2-year residency required fee for certain exchange visitors. Visas for work and tourism are essential to President Joe Biden's foreign policy, and we recognize the critical role international travel plays in the U.S. economy, it said, adding that the Department of State is committed to facilitating legitimate travel to the United States for both immigrant and non-immigrant travelers. The State Department also said that the increased fees affect the border crossing card for Mexican citizens aged 15 and over. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.